And welcome back to my channel. If you want to know how I achieved this full face with nothing but Milani Cosmetics, then stay tuned. Alright, so first I'm going to start with the Milani Green Goddess Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil. Excuse me. Alright, this is my first time using an oil before my makeup routine. It is a glow oil, so I was kind of curious to see how that was going to work. I was really excited about using the Milani products, so I tried to grab as many different items as I could to give me a full range. Alright, so I'm just going to work that in with my fingers and just kind of smush, smash, but of course you want to make sure that your hands are clean. Alright, as you can see, I am really trying to work this in. I typically have combination skin, maybe a little more drier sometimes. But as you can see, again, with this oil, it's a lot more than I'm used to, but that's okay. So just work it in real good, massage it. Feels great. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with my Milani Green Goddess Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil, but this is a sleeping mask / primer. So apparently you can put it on before bed after you've completed your skincare routine. And you can actually sleep in it, and then you wake up the next day ready for your morning routine. So I'm just going to go ahead and work that in. It says to put a generous amount. Get it in there, all over. And again, like I said, I typically use a matting primer, but I have to be careful. So I typically use 2 different types of primer. But with this one, again, I'm trying something new. They did not have any mattifying primers. So what I did was I picked up these 2 setting sprays. One is a mattifying setting spray, the black one, and then the other one is just a long last makeup wear. I went ahead and put the mattifying spray on there as an attempt to kind of get some of that shine down because my main concern was it coming through the makeup once I've completed my look. All right, one of my favorite things. It is a primer for your lips. And again, it's this Green Goddess cannabis seed oil. And I'm absolutely in love with this, but it's really nice and smooth. And it's just a thin layer of primer to go ahead and get me protected before I start my complete makeup routine. I mean, who want to be looking crusty? Ain't got time for that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I am not the biggest fan of this brush, but it's okay. I mean, you can't win everything. But I'm just gonna go ahead and try to brush out my brows. One of my brows is cooperating, and the other is clearly the struggle brow. I'll let you pick who's who. All right, I'm trying to pick it out, but let's just completely forget about this eyebrow. I mean, it's not even here to work. It's causing problems. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my brow pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and start, kind of shaping my brows. Like I said, one is on board, and the other one's doing its own thing, so. Okay, this is a better brush. It's one of my brushes that I have that came with another makeup set. Don't worry about that. Milani only had so many different brushes, so I did bring my own. But anything that they had to offer, I did go ahead and purchase. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and take some concealer and clean up under my brows. Milani only had the lighter and the darker. Typically what I would do is do one that's closer to my shade and go ahead and kind of outline my eyebrows and clean them up. But what I did was go ahead and use the lighter one because they only had the 2, so I didn't get the third. But that's fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my eyebrows. Gotta have a steady hand. This brow is giving me life. The other one is giving me problems. And just try to make an even layer if you can, almost like a primer. They do not offer an eye primer that I saw, so again, I'm just going to go ahead and use concealer, so I'm bringing it down a little bit lower than I normally would if I were using a primer, an eyeshadow primer. I don't even think I hit that brow. I'm so close, like I'm so high above it, but Mind your business. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about me. It'll come together. You just gotta have faith in the process. Clean it up. All right, this is gonna take the whole video if I let it. You know what I'm saying? These eyebrows are, but that's okay. I mean, they're never really perfect, but I mean, I'll be able to move on eventually. But let me just try my best to. Oh God, can we just shave that one off? Maybe it's a do and a don't video, and don't pay any of mine to the other eyebrow. Look at it, it's just not cooperating, but that's okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. I just have to kind of use my imagination. I encourage you to do the same. All right, so instead of an eyeshadow primer, I'm going to go ahead and use this concealer. And so I put it on a little thick just so I can have a really like nice, clean, solid foundation as far as what I'm going to start with as far as my base. So I just want to pat it in with my beauty blender and get it as smooth and even as possible. And again, that's just going to give you a clean palette if you think about in terms of art to work with. I went ahead and put some under my eyes just because it was a little bit shiny. And like I said, I get oily in some spots and drier in others. And with it being the winter, typically I would be, you know, anticipating drier skin. But for some reason, no, not today. All right, girl, leave that eyebrow alone. Keep moving. Move on. Move on. You're not listening, are you? Let's move on. It's coming together. I see the vision. I mean, you see it. It's there. All right, that one's giving me life. That one, not. No, just giving me a headache. All right, I'm going to go in with my mattifying setting spray and just try to get everything nice and even. Go ahead and let that dry. Okay, so I'm not ready for my foundation just yet. I'm going to do my eyeshadow first, my eyes first. But I did go ahead and take my foundation brush. It's empty. And I just went ahead and kind of like put in the setting spray, just kind of mashed it in a little bit more to kind of make it look more seamless. All right, just another layer. Again, they did not have eyeshadow primer, so I am going to be using concealer. And I just went ahead and just do a nice even coat. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and go ahead and just pat that into place. Nice, smooth, even base. Alright, so now I have my Milani pressed powder, and this is Natural Light. It's in the shade number 3. And so what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to use it because I did not have a loose powder available. I'm just going to go ahead and set my eyeshadow base with the translucent powder. I'm just going to go ahead, and that way it's going to suck out the moisture, eliminate that shine, and just give me a really nice matte base. And then you can go ahead and then it'll make it a lot easier for the eyeshadow to pop and to stay into place. So you don't have to do this. I recommend it if you want your eyeshadow to pop or to last longer. It just really depends. You don't have to do this, but I typically do, especially when I'm starting with my eyes first. All right, so there's no shine, just a little bit more product and work that out. You want to make sure that there's no creasing. Get rid of any excess product. Okay, here is my Milani Gilded Nude. It's the eyeshadow palette, and I am absolutely loving the shades. Okay, I'm not really big on glitter, but I like how they have the mauves and then they have like the neutral colors, and I'm big on neutral natural colors. It's for like for everyday wear. All right, so I found my transition color, and then I'm just going to go in along my crease. And you can do small circles or you can do the windshield wiper method. It is really up to you. You just want to make sure you get enough product on there, and then you can go in and blend it out. This is not the highest pigmented palette that I've had, so I do go in quite a few times to build on the color, which is fine. I'm tapping any excess off so that way it's an even application and it's not heavier in some places or blotchy in some places and kind of sparse in others. Just something to think about. The brush that I'm using isn't really big, but it's not really small. And as you can tell, it's kind of a soft, you know what I'm saying? And so this way it allows me to get into the crease of my eye, and it allows me to have more control. I'm holding my brush further back so that I have a lighter hand. And again, that's fine. The fact that I'm going back and applying and building on my colors. I'm building my colors so that way you get a nice, strong, vibrant color. Depending on what kind of a look you're wanting to achieve, you do not have to do as many layers as I am. But again, I know kind of what I have in mind. And I know that with my eye shape, you know, I just want to kind of emphasize on my sockets because, you know, just following the shape of your eye. Everybody's going to be different. All right, so I'm just going to speed things up, and I'm going in with my darker shade. I'm going ahead trying to hollow out my eye socket basically. Now I'm going to go ahead and focus on my lid. I'm putting my light color, my bright color on my lid, and I really want to pack it on just because I want my eyelid to pop and to give that three-dimensional look with the shade in the background. All right, and I just went ahead and blended everything out to make it more smooth and smoky. But I am going to go ahead and retouch up the hollows of my eyelids just to go ahead and get the crease so it's nice and dark, and then again to give that three-dimensional look, contrast. All right, so I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and just go ahead and clean up the concealer around my eyebrows so that way there's not a halo. All right, so here's the eyeliner. I went ahead and applied that off camera. It is the Eye Tech Extreme Liquid Liner, and it's in 01 Blackest Black. All right, now here is the lash primer. It's the Violet One lash primer. And I went ahead and put that on first so I could separate all of my lashes and get them as full length as possible. Now, I forgot to get an actual mascara from Milani, so forgive me. I will apply that off screen. All right, so here is the foundation. It's Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This is in number 10, Golden Tan. I'm just going to go ahead and use my brush and apply that evenly all over my face. And don't worry about so much as blending it in with the brush. What you're going to do is go in with your damp makeup sponge. You're going to go in with your damp makeup sponge and go ahead and press that makeup into your skin. That's the whole reason we have primer and concealer, right? You go ahead and just press it in, and you want to get that as seamless as possible. No lines or streaks or anything like that from your brush. With your beauty blender, you can really get into the nooks and crannies of your face, you know? So here's the concealer. Now this one is going to be in long wear concealer. It's Concealing Perfect. It's a part of the duo. Now this one is in 145, and that's Warm Beige. I really like this. I like the consistency of it. I like the size of the brush. You're going to go in with your beauty blender and just go ahead and kind of spread that out, blend that in, and work it outwards. That was quite a lot of concealer, But we'll make it work. We'll just go ahead and just blend that in, blend that out. Get under your eyes. You want to pat that in. All right, and this is going to be 180 Cool Toffee, and that's going to be for my contouring. I kind of went a little far down on my cheeks. I mean, I have a round face, but you know, I did overdo it. And I do believe that this color may be a little too dark for me, but I'm gonna, you know, I've already committed, and this is the only color that I got from Milani, so we're gonna make it work. I really wish I had not gone in with that beauty blender. You can see the look of frustration on my face when I saw what I'd done. But you know what? For the sake of the challenge, I'm going to make it work. Give your jawbone that nice and chiseled look. Just want to be very careful. See, I came way too far down. But that's okay. I'm just going to use my beauty blender. It's dampened with setting spray. And I'm just going to kind of eliminate some of that excess. Yeah, you don't want to come much further down than your apples of your cheeks, you know. You want to contour, so I'm wanting to create the illusion that I have a higher cheekbones and more of a snatched jawline. My nose will give up on that. All right, so here is the Milani pressed powder. It's the Conceal and Perfect collection, and it's shine proof powder. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set my under eyes and everywhere that I highlight, so that way that concealer doesn't come through and shine through later, and it can create more of a greasy look. So if your skin is already more oily, I suggest that you bake a little bit more, a little bit longer, because what your skin is going to do is absorb that excess product and the moisture in the concealer as well as the moisture in your skin. All right, and so this is really neat. For the contour, I have this cream to powder foundation, and what I did was I got this one in color 292 caramel brown, and I really like it because it's smooth and it's like the perfect finish, and they describe it perfectly. So I went ahead and put that on my beauty blender. If you guys have never seen one of these, it's really neat. I got it at Walmart, but it actually is for powder, and it even has a different texture. I think it's super neat. And so what I did was I just went ahead and applied some to my beauty blender and just go ahead and set everywhere around my face. All right, and this is my setting spray. So I'm just going to go ahead and let everything kind of sit for a second. I put it on my brush, so this way when I'm blending everything in, to me for this product, I feel like it just made everything move more seamlessly. And I am absolutely loving. I was worried about the cream to powder with the translucent powder, but everything looks good to me so far. Alright, so I'm going to use a smaller brush, a more dense brush, just to go in on the places like my nose and around my hairline that were a little bit more difficult to reach with my fluffier brush. And I'm not experiencing any running of the makeup or smudging. It's just, with me moistening my brush beforehand for these products, it was an executive decision that I had to make. Alright, so we're moving on to blush. I have O2 Rose D Oro, and it's more of a golden, like a rose gold, and it kind of provides a shimmer and a highlight as well. So I'll go ahead and put that on the apples of my cheeks. And for highlight, I have DayGlow Luminescence. And this is Strobelight, and it's in O2. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight right above the apples of my cheeks, right above my blush, not too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit my nose, the tip of my nose, as well as the bridge of my nose, my chin, and my cupid's bow. Alright, setting spray time again. Alright, so for my lip liner, I have the Milani, and it's Understatement Lip Liner in 120 French Rose. Alright, so now that I'm all lined up and in place, I'm going to go in with my Ludicrous Matte Lip Crayon in 120 color Can't Even. And for a little pop of color, because this looks very nude, I'm going to go ahead and use 51 Blushing Beauty. Still not really satisfied, so I'm going to go in with this Milani Lip Plumper. It's called Keep It Full, and this is in Soft Rose. My mattifying setting spray. And we're just going to let it dry, let it dry, let it dry. All right, you, my girl, you're ready. You are ready to go out into the world fully beat from Milani Cosmetics. Thank you for following along. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. And if you have any questions, don't forget to please leave them in the comments slot below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of that. Hey, follow me on social media. All right, thanks again. See you next time. Bye.